Hey everybody, I was thinking of what to record today because I got a small Isaac backlog. And I thought to myself, maybe I'll do a Mario Golf game against random people online. And then I realized I got like 9 Mario Golf VODs from Twitch of just nonstop banter with Mouth and Sips coming up where like we talk about what if a Mafia member shot you in the phallus when you were, like, it was your funeral, like it was an open casket funeral, but they still got a retribution hit on you. So I thought maybe we'll back it up, let Mario Golf simmer for a couple days, let the appreciation filter out there, the reviews for your consideration, Best Picture 2021, etc., etc. Why don't we just play a Slay the Spire daily? I like Slay the Spire. I played, you know, way too much of it, enough that it was deleterious to my existence on this platform. Now I'm back. Now I'm back trying it out just for some variety again. I would like, yo, this must be a pretty hard daily. These scores are pretty low except for the ones at the very top. This could still be a win. I think a win can be like 750 points and up. So we're specialized, 5 copies of a single card. Silent cards appear in rewards and shops. Card rewards only contain 2 cards. Maybe I'm stupid, but in my heart of hearts, I'm like, this doesn't seem so bad. What's our specialized card? Reflex. It's terrible. That's horrible. I don't think this run is winnable. So it's literally 5 dead draws right off the bat. Yeah, I think that it's important we try to remove those as soon as possible. But it's Ascension 0, which makes for a, you know, relatively easy time of things. I think what we'll try to do is get as many of these removed as possible. I will note, by the way, I'm not a Slay the Spire expert, okay? I don't know if that's well known. If you might be new here, you never know. It has been known to happen. I have beaten the game up to Ascension 20, and including Ascension 20, with everybody but the Watcher, who I kind of had stopped playing by the time. Well, I played a little bit when they came out, but I was kind of over it by then. I had broken the spell. Exhaust all non-attack cards in your hand. Gain 5 block for each card exhaust. Actually seems like possibly this could also allow us to get out of these dead cards. I think we're going to play it like this. We don't want to exhaust all the defense from our hand. And by the way, I'm not going to explain Slay the Spire, like, mechanically speaking, because literally, I mean, we're talking about a game that I've played, I don't know, like 1,000 episodes of on YouTube or something ridiculous like that. But I encourage you, you know, these are all pretty good. Let's go with a little intimidation factor for now. I encourage you, it's a pretty good game. I highly recommend it. Mind Blast, always an interesting choice in these games, but I think cutting a reflex is going to help us out the most here. There is a chance that maybe we could remove another one. I don't think we're going to have enough gold, but anything's possible. So yeah, I'm not really, I'll be honest, like, I'm playing this, to, like, fill some space, and because I want more variety, and honestly, like, I've been revisiting, like, all these roguelites. I was going to say from my past, but I think I just have a different philosophy right now, which is like, you know, we're in a little bit of a lull to some extent for games. I'll put a no, Cloak and Dagger's pretty good. Maybe it's not fair to call it a lull necessarily. But rather than force new games into the equation where I'm like, it doesn't look like it's that good. It looks like, hey, we made, you know, FTL, but they kind of like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. I'm like, man, I'll just play some more FTL. I'll just play some more Slay the Spire. I'll just play some more Repentance. I kind of want to revisit Gungeon as well. But anyway, let's focus on this daily for now. These are starting to be important decisions. We're not going to get the bonus for finishing this run in under 25 minutes, I'll tell you that. We need some damage dealing. Body Slam for 0 when it gets upgraded is pretty good, but I also do like a Sword Boomerang. I'm going to start with a Body Slam for now. It's just I have cards that I like more than other cards. And is there a shop here? There's not. Okay, that's fine. We'll fight. I don't mind. Let's pop a skill card real quick. Bloodletting, acrobatics. If this is exhausted, gain 2 energy. Okay. And then we can play 1. I don't want this to be exhausted. I do want this to be exhausted. Now we get all our energy back, and we still have 3. Or all, yeah, we get our energy back that we just spent, and we got 3 that we can use here. We take no damage. I'm mostly seeing the scores on this one. I'm predominantly concerned with, above all else, just completing the run. I think if we can complete the run, I'll be a happy man. So we could either do 12 damage for 2 energy, or we can get 5 block and do 11 damage. So I think that's a fairly easy choice for me. I will say the thing is, when you look at these dailies, like, sometimes you look at them and you just go, you know, you get the wrong idea. You usually know fairly early on whether or not it's going to be a good one or a hard one. Like, if you see a lot of high, like, 1500s or something then in the scores, you know that the daily's probably, like, pretty easy. If you see a lot of, you know, a large divergence is probably a good way to put that out there. In the scores, then it's probably difficult and maybe even a little bit skill dependent. This one, I think we're realizing pretty quick that we have a real problem with the deck, and the problem is our deck is already full of detritus, like those reflexes we can't even really play. So fighting enemies like these that create more garbage in our deck, more refuse, more rubbish, as Sip's children would say. We don't want to deal with that. We want to get out of it. Choose a card in your discard pile, return it to your hand. Next to non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics. Noxious Fumes I like decently, but if we're not gonna stack poison... Nah, this is still really good, I think. Even as the Ironclad, this is like AoE. And we have essentially no AoE at our disposal right now. So we're gonna get 2 relics here. I'm actually... You don't tend to smith, or you don't tend to rest early on, I should say. But I thought about it just because we had kind of like a rough time with that first elite fight. Okay, that's good. I do not wish to fight the monster again. I think we got really lucky. Smiling Mask makes card removal very cheap, which is very, very nice. We're hoping to draw an early bash, and we did. Honestly, just draw that bash again. Now we got 6 turns of vulnerability. This boss is, like, if you haven't played Slay the Spire in a while, this boss is basically just a race. In particular, you want to try to finish this off as early as possible, because when they start to debuff you, life becomes very difficult. So we're gonna need, I think we're gonna need 3 attacks because we lost strength. 14, 12 damage. Come on, man. Come on. We made the right decision to come here. But still. Old coin, that's just 300 gold. Disarm is really good. Yeah, it's really good against this boss. I mean, Sucker Punch is great as well. Slay the Spire, I'm trying to take some... honestly, give me an upgrade for now, because we're going to remove so much in the future. Because of the Smiling Mask that we have here. Let's take Disarm for now. I think, well, maybe, I don't know. Because in my head, I'm like, Noxious Fumes is actually insanely good to upgrade because it gets 50% better, but Disarm also gets much better as well. We can take you down to 34 without having to worry about it. Let's weaken you. 12 damage. Second Wind is actually doing some really good stuff. Not worth it, I think. Allowing us to, like, get some value from blocks where otherwise it was previously not doable. I know you're going to weaken me, but I think to get a little poison on you is nice here as well. We can wait one more turn. We can get the energy out of Art of War, something I've literally never paid attention to in my life prior to this moment. But yeah, Slay the Spire, and it took me way too long to get this right, but it's as much about like knowing what you're doing with the cards as it is tailoring your run to the bosses you expect to fight. So I'm trying to just 6 damage. That's unfortunate, but I'm trying to make sure we have a realistic chance to take out this first boss. And honestly, I think it's a little... just to be straight up with you, I think it's a little less likely than you might think, considering it's Ascension 1 first boss. But hey, for now, we got 23 HP. I think an armaments fully upgraded is not so bad. We got a pretty good deck. Footwork is a great card, I think, as well. I'm a believer in the armaments world right now. Please, heal me for 20. Let's see how we do here. If we do really well, we might not have to heal on the boss. Or for the boss. We're not doing very well. So we will absolutely heal for the boss. I'm getting a little cocky. I'm willing to admit I'm getting a little cocky on this one. For some reason, like now that we're doing okay, I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself that I feel like I have a realistic chance to have a very good score. We're gonna need some way to deal some actual damage. And obviously this is not helpful. But Noxious Fumes kind of does that for us. Hey, I don't even mind this, honestly. We can't play our attacks, but we get the extra value out of Art of War regardless. So yeah, I mean, I'm realizing now that I was literally like a little bit ahead of myself. Oh, we're gonna have a great chance to win. Then I realized we have like 4 attacks in our entire deck. Costs 1 less for each card discarded. Discard 3 cards, gain 2 energy. It's one of those things where like if you draw this when you want to draw it, you're pretty happy. But I can't rely on that happening, so this is a skip for me. We're going to be at 35, and we could add another 16. Is 51 HP enough? I'm going to rest. I just don't believe that it is. Plus, we get to save our potion. I think we could do good things today. I think after 3 years of being cyberbullied for how bad I was playing in this game, I think now it might finally be the right time. Maybe this is all it took, you know? And now, having a child, knowing how difficult it is to manage, like, so many different things simultaneously and, you know, always choosing the right option for any specific situation, like, maybe this is what I needed to make me a truly great Slay the Spire player. That's the narrative I'm going to try to build towards at the very least. Whether or not it's actually true remains to be seen. So I'm not attacking because he has thorns, which means every time we hit them, they do 3 damage to us. Plus, we get 1 extra energy if we don't play an attack on a turn. This turn, I will play 2 attacks, so because we can even out. But in general, we'll try to take advantage of that. Most of the time I use that realistically will be by accident, but that's okay. Alright, so he's got 28 HP until we find ourselves in a scary time. No, he's gonna... Dude, I don't think we can be stopped here. The Noxious Fumes value is already coming out. His attack is not even gonna work here. So we can just bash the crap out of him and... Like, look at this. This is the value of Noxious Fumes for us. This is the power. 13, there you go. I probably should have played our better defend, but... I don't love it, but it is what it is. We'll fill our deck with a useless Shiv card. Get the extra energy out of it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna get him. I think having made it through this floor, like you ever realize that, like, as a human being, you have thoughts in your head that you know are demonstrably false, but you choose to believe them just to make yourself feel a little better, just to get through the day. I shouldn't be hitting you right here. I shouldn't have even played those shifts. That's where I'm at right here, where I know that the game exclusively gets harder from this point onward. But I'm like, we're now over the hump. Now that we beat the first boss, I'm like, it's easy now. Just definitely not true. Sure, thanks for the plated armor. Malaise is really good. Malaise? I'll take that. Cracked Crown, 2 less cards to choose from. Am I insane, or does Cracked Crown in this situation mean we get no card rewards? That seems horrible. I don't know what to say. I think we have to go... yeah, I think this means that we'll get no rewards. Let's take Calling Bell instead. So we can't remove this curse from our deck. Bag of Marbles is really good. Peace Pipe is honestly really good as well for us. Pear is okay. But yeah, I know the game gets harder from this point onwards, but for some reason in my head, I'm like, we did it. We're through the difficult part. Alright, so we want card removal. Upgrade this defense. Bash is pre-upgraded. I don't care if I take 5 damage. Like, the thing is, there was a way to not take damage there, but by doing it this way, by applying this vulnerability, we stand a much better chance to kill this creature before they do even more damage to us. Intimidate, not really that good here. Puts a Daze in our deck that I don't really appreciate, but I'll do it for a Defend, because that saves us 5, whereas the Daze would have only saved us like 2, I think. It's nothing special. I hate to do it, because Malaise is great, but I'm gonna just take the Exhaust ability there and hit you really hard. I stand by Noxious here. I really don't want to lose that much HP, which is just standard, I suppose. You never really do, but in particular, I don't want to, because we gotta remove so many cards from our deck that, like, you're not dying, huh? I gotta remove so many cards from this deck that every single campfire is valuable to me. Anyway, that wasn't too bad. I think we could take a Deadly Poison. Honestly, I think I'm starting to see like a win condition there. First, I'll spend 75 gold to remove a card from my deck. Why? Because it's... I know that I have to fight you. Most of the time we'll spend 50 at a shot, but 75 is not that bad. Just to get one more crack at it. This is like the worst... I am going to drink this, believe it or not. This is the worst you could ever anticipate here. That... you could draw on your first turn. 2 completely useless cards. Our dex is going to go down by 2, which is pretty bad. We have no AoE except for Noxious Fumes, which obviously must be played. These guys are going to do just a stupid amount of damage. Somebody has to die. I think this is the right time to try to kill the enemies quickly. And we'll drop some plated armor here just to... well, just to block a little. We got a potion. I'm not sweating it. I can't... look, I wasn't willing to spend 411 gold just to make this fight go away, so... you got 9 damage. I'll disarm the enemy that hits multiple times. I'll smack you because I got no other options. This is gonna suck pretty bad. We might just want to survive on this run. I mean, hey, there's... let's make this cost 0. Can I do 6 damage to you? Yes. Okay, so we've at least taken that out. We're not gonna die. We might be annoyed, but we're not gonna die. Why don't you get made weak and also lose some strength just to save us some danger here. Sometimes I look at the scores on a daily challenge and I say to myself, the reason these scores are so low is because everybody else is greedy. And they're all trying to score the maximum score. But sometimes a run is so difficult that the only way you can get the maximum score is by surviving, not by swinging for the fences. Sometimes you just gotta get on base. Hold on. 7 damage. You're at 11 HP. Owns. That's math. Thank you for red mask. I think I like a poison stab as well. So yeah, I think survival might be more important than anything else here. And I'm not even convinced that we're gonna get that, but we're gonna try. So we're dead drawing way too much. Get rid of this reflex. That's good. And then I know we have another shop right after this. Is anything here good enough? There's a lot that's good enough. Immolate's pretty good. I think. I like it a lot. In fact, I think I'm just gonna take it, and I'm not gonna worry about anything else for now. I think we need more killing power. I will also remove another one. Now I feel like the deck's starting to almost function. I don't know if you would agree with that, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I know we got some discard enablers here, but I actually feel like a Master of Strategy helps us get through our relatively crappy deck here as well. Now, do I want to fight some elites? Usually the answer would be no, but let's give it a try. You get disarmed. I was just going to say, you get disarmed quite nicely. I'll armaments and work on this poison stab. We're not taking any damage. Very important you don't take any damage here. I think that look, I don't have any ambition of being the greatest Slay the Spire player on the planet. That train has already sailed. I'm gonna poison you, and then believe it or not, I'm gonna pop this just to not take damage. Because I really don't want you to fill my deck with trash. That might be a mistake, but we're trying here, okay? Malaise is insanely good. We'll definitely take damage, but 4 strength down, 4 weak is really nice. I'm willing to do that. It takes 8 damage off of you, but it's more for future turns as well. And I think that in this unique situation, this might... Oh, I had one more energy, dude. This unique situation might be one where a lack of hubris will serve me well. Sometimes you gotta have that ambition, you know? You gotta swing for the fences. Because it's the only way that you can get yourself into the record books. It's the only way to guarantee a semblance of immortality in a way. For me, I already have some immortal plays in this game, for better and for worse. I can live with just trying to, you know, putter along and get this one to the exit. Winged Boots, I think it is good. We could fight another elite right away if we wanted. I don't think that's necessarily sensible. Let's start smithing some cards. And I think right away, like, Noxious Fumes is an insanely good get for us. Ink Bottle and Frozen Egg. Frozen Egg allows us to upgrade powers. Ink Bottle gives us a little bit more draw. For now, we have another shop coming up. I don't see a good reason to use our Winged Boots. We need more blocks in this deck. That's what I'm coming to terms with. I'll play one of these. Defensively, this deck still kind of sucks. And there might be a certain semblance of operator error. You could be forgiven, I would say, for suggesting it. I don't think we're going to lose our money here, though. I think we're going to get it back. Why don't you go ahead and get intimidated for me? Why don't you be dead? And then 10 block. Look at this. I don't know. Maybe. It's just fun. Like, I know I talked about it earlier on in the run here, but it's honestly just... It's fun to go back and revisit these games that, like... I have a serious amount of reverence for, but also have really gone through... I do like Second Wind, man. I've gone through the... I don't know if you'd call it, like, the negativity, but I've gone through the part of the game where you're just learning how to play. And then, you know, everybody knows what they're watching. It's like playing checkers or something like that. Nobody's popping into chat going like, oh, what are the rules of checkers, you know? Everybody's popping in going, ah, you should have done this instead of that. Which is kind of the dream, I think, believe it or not. So I'm just trying to think about how to do this. I think the best way to get through it is just to get as much poison on you ASAP. Because you're, like, mighty annoying. I'm glad we got this out here. I would like the poison on you, too, for the record. Like, you're already toasted. Look at that. That's extremely good. Now I just got to deal with you. Under no circumstance do you have to hand it to them. 14 damage. I'm a big believer in, like, the malaise play. 1 extra turn of weakness and 1 extra strength down, I think is worth more than the 5 block we would have gotten from the dodge, or from the defend, but I'll admit as well that I think it is kind of a possible close call. I don't know. So the scores, I'm trying to think, like, the dream I have in my heart of hearts, would be to see my name on the front page of the daily challenge. Almost ended my turn there. We need to get like a score of 900 plus in order to make that happen. I can't kill you. Can't kill you this turn. Is that likely? I don't know, but as of right now, like, when I think about it, like 900 is not that impressive of a score necessarily. We need some damage, man, but I don't know if that's it. I will duplicate a card in my deck. This is a tough call. I'm a believer in malaise, but it does take a whole turn. I think you kind of go noxious on this, and then AoE is no longer as much of a threat. This guy is just quite simple. This snake is just the most annoying enemy in the game. I'll compromise on that one. There you go. We got an extra turn of weakness as well. I think this could be our dream, but I think it's better narratively if this is not our dream run. But instead, we managed to still have our dream run happen in the future. If you get what I'm saying. Okay. We're going to second wind, and actually it's a pretty good body slam there. You're just waiting for that turn when you draw, like, pure garbage. Honestly, I hate to exhaust Master of Strategy, but it does give us enough block here. This guy does get pretty strong. That's a great draw. Only 1 Noxious on you right now. This is... We're starting to get concerned, but... At the end of the day, 5 damage from this fight is not bad at all. I can't be upset. We're gonna get burned here, so... unless we kill him in advance. So Bane is a really interesting call here because we have so much poison. I think we definitely take it, and then I hate to do it, but I think you rest. We got 80 HP, and I'm not feeling so bad. This is a situation, I think, you might pop 1 colorless potion. Whenever you apply a debuff to an enemy, they take 5 damage. Chrysalis is also really good, but 5 damage per debuff is, like, potentially incredible. Disarm's just good. I don't mind taking 9 damage right out the gates. I'll hit you. Well, you know what? Let's pop our other colorless potion. Exhaust up to 3 cards in your hand, then exhaust this. Draw 2 cards, put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. I hate to say it. I guess we play Impatience. We don't have any attacks in our draw pile. That being said, I know I could poison you once to get the extra 5 damage. I think that the more damage the more we get ahead of you with malaise, the better off we're gonna be. You are very annoying though, because you purge all your debuffs. So you're gonna lose that poison at some point. So we really wanna hurt you pretty good early on here. If we could get this poison up to the point where, you know, it's doing like 30 or 40, I'd start to feel a little better. For now, I'm not sold on the fact that we're there yet, but give me a bash for some vulnerability. I think we might have the sustain required to stay out in front of this guy, though. In particular, you can always use the blood potion if you gotta. This is not a great turn for us. But that happens. It happens. 10 damage, not that big of a deal. I hate to do it, because, again, Bane is pretty good here, but you just gotta keep the vulnerability coming for now. So this is where I think we want to go hard, if we can. You got 27 coming in here, an Immolate takes you down, you're gonna be... So your next turn is already lost to trying to remove the debuffs, which is good. And then this turn, we're going to go as hard as we can again, which unfortunately is not very hard at all. But you're going to be at 142. We only need to survive a few turns here. There's a chance. You are doing quite a lot of damage, I've noticed. And I have literally no blocks. Second wind generates no block for us either. Well, I mean, it is what it is. What else can you do, right? 22 damage, so we are in a lethal range. 21. I mean, what are you going to do? You have to drink the blood potion just to stay alive. We're going to have to do like 30-something damage to you on this turn or survive. 22. I mean, we're living. We're living. Would you look at that? So we're gonna survive. Probably never should have happened, but here we are. Corpse Explosion is really good. Very good at AoE. I think it should be abundantly clear we need some means to do a little bit better. I think we can take Mark of Pain for the extra energy. We need more damage. I actually think we have a pretty good run for the Timekeeper. What I would love to see... First off, I'm only going to focus on survival, so take me to these shops, but what I would love to see more than just about anything else is like Catalyst, which doubles or triples the poison you put on an enemy. I still think that there's a chance to see my name up in lights on this one. I think you start here. I know we're going to take damage from the thorns. I don't care that much. I think you just do this now. You don't even play the Shiv. We just let the poison take this guy away. I mean, I feel like we're set, honestly. I feel like we're on top of the world. At least in this fight, we're on top of the world. Now, keep in mind, I've maybe been overselling it as if, like, this is an insanely difficult task or something like that. Very good. It is Ascension level 0. I think that's worth pointing out. We don't want Mayhem for the final boss. We don't really have a run where we just put up as much block as possible, so I don't think Caltrops is the play. A Sucker Punch to keep weakness applied is fine in my world. And we finally... Don't talk to me. I dumped the wrong card. Why? Shut up. It was an accident, okay? Because I'm not used to having any of these cards in my deck, but we'll dump that Reflex. Losing second wind, it hurts, but it's not the end of the world. I think what would be ideal for us is not to fight elites necessarily, but instead to just see a maximum amount of, like, chests, obviously. Like, we have winged boots so we can adjust our positioning. I think we can weaken. You're already weak. Okay. Well, then we're going to take 1 damage. We might take more. This enemy gets a little stronger. Or like, a lot stronger every single turn is the reality. Corpse Explosion and Bane is strictly better here. Corpse Explosion is really good, though. You might not see the value of it right now, or maybe you do. Maybe you've played, you know, a billion hours of this game. Wouldn't surprise me. So have I, kind of. And most of my play, though, is what you're seeing before you right now. A little banter-driven, not as much, you know, analytical gameplay. Blur is also potentially good. But I'm hopeful that this one can make it happen. The Writhing Mass is one of those enemies, you just eat it, basically. So I don't want you to do 21 damage to me, so I'm gonna hit you. I don't want you to do 16 damage to me, so I'm gonna hit you. I don't want you to do 21 damage to me, so I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna embrace that you're gonna do 16 damage to me, because that's as good as it gets here. We're just waiting for our poison enablers. Once those come out, like, a Disarm is quite helpful. 18 damage. Noxious, very good. I think I'm just gonna play 2 blocks. You know, those other poison enablers, they'll come around. For now, let's just be survivable. We love another Noxious. We'll just play an Armaments Blur. Like, it's all... I know we could hit you, but it's all about just living until this poison starts to take you away. We love to see it. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to weaken the enemy as much as possible. We really don't want you to curse us, which is what that is. So 2 damage, I can live with that. I think if you asked me, what do I prefer? An removable curse or 2 damage? I'll take the 2 damage instead. Here again, we're just gonna chill. I think this is how you have to play this. I'm much more concerned about how we would. You're gonna hurt me quite a lot here, huh? Well, I might as well put the vulnerability on you then. I'm much more concerned about how we deal with the enemy that has 1,000 HP, but 18 damage, 37. Yeah, you're dead. I forgot that you put up a shield. We still did it, but it was scarier than it needed to be. Okay. Let's start with the smithing. We got a lot of stuff that's still very smithable. Anything that has an aggregate effect, like Corpse Explosion, I mean, it's 50% more poison. Let's not say 50% better, because the actual damage from the death is much of the value. I think we actually really like Malaise here. Even though it's only going to give you 2 turns of weakness, I have to be honest, like, you're the most annoying enemy on the 2nd floor. On this floor, you're not so bad, but still. Corpse Explosion will also... And Poison actually counters this guy super hard as well, so I'm not sweating it. Why don't you get weakened? Ugh. How dare you? How dare you? Make me top deck the perfect card, but after I've recklessly spent too much energy. How dare you? You have to go. One way or another. We also would like to put up some block. This is the only way we put up block, though. And it's only 3. Not great. And it requires this. Okay, so then we'll use this on you so you die. And then... Thank you for the 3 blocks, sir. I really appreciate it. Probably should have just played something like Immolate instead. Should still be fine. 10 damage is very little. You're dead in 2 turns, so I think I'd rather lower your strength, as absurd as it may seem. And then maybe just don't play attacks. We get energy back next turn. The frailty is crushing me here, man. So you're already dead. 12 block, you're dead. Yes, okay. I can hit you 1 time and build Blur for next turn. We're gonna live. Again, this is, hey, we're so excited we got winged boots, so we can kind of maybe just keep it together. I would just like to hit you. Thank you. A little late for flying knee, I think. So now, let's plan our attack here. We can't get to multiple chests. I don't know what you were thinking, but you can get to multiple campfires. So why don't we rest here? And then we'll go to multiple... Gremlin Horn's pretty good. We'll go to multiple campfires to get as many upgrades as possible. Dude, Footwork is a great card. I know we can't remove another one. That's okay, because I don't know what I would want to remove anyway. A Glowing Tesseract. I'll add 2 colorless cards to my deck. Magnetism, I'm not an enormous fan. I think Blind is okay. I hate to say it, I'm a skip on the 2nd. I don't think it's a great timekeeper play. Maybe I'm a fool, but that's how we're playing it. Malaise being upgraded is... I mean, when you think about it, it's really like 1 extra energy once, but I'll take it. I think Body Slam always being free is nice. Cloak and Dagger doesn't necessarily get that much better. Intimidate does get twice as good. Cloak and Dagger gets 1 extra shiv, but that might not even be something we're that interested in. I am willing to lose 5 max HP. I should not have been, I think. What's more important here, 10 HP or a card getting better? I think like a Sucker Punch having 2 weak is that much better. Now, how the heck do we play this one? Armaments, very nice. Powers getting out there as soon as possible, also very nice. You're still doing 19, that makes sense. Makes sense. I think you definitely start like that. So we are taking 8 damage. This is an important turn. We haven't played that many cards, though. I don't think you play your strike here. I think you save it. The longer this goes on, the better it is for us in a way, because the poison adds up over time. So again, I'm like, why attack, man? There's not much point. And I know that sounds like nihilistic. I actually mean it in like the opposite way. It's good for us. Now here, unfortunately, we can play enough to pass turn, which is what we want. But we're gonna take a staggering hit, of course. We're on notice, no doubt about that. A big malaise is probably more helpful than anything else right now. Also, like, the less cards we play on a turn, but still get max value, the happier we're gonna be. Disarm's very good. You're doing literally 3 damage. You gotta play your second Noxious. He does, the Timekeeper purges the debuffs, so we have to concern ourselves with that. Because of Blur, I'll play a Defend. No real reason to play the Strike. Alright, so I'd say we have a few turns where we're gonna come out looking pretty good here. Dodge and roll is always great. Do we want to... I think maybe we want to play 4 cards. I can't. In that case, I think we should pass turn. That way we have some extra cards to play next turn. 0 times 3, that's very nice. So we're going to play 3 cards. That would probably be a 1, 2, 3. This turn, you're gonna heal up. So I genuinely think that the best thing to do is just play your dodge and roll, and then end your turn. This gives us 9 block for next turn. Nothing we played against him would have done anything, because he would have healed up to half anyway. I don't think you even play your strike. That's how many levels of stupidity I'm on right now. I don't even think you attack. I think you save that for the potentiality that you'll need it to block in the future. Then you have a turn where you don't have any means to get draw. And you don't die, but you go down to 1 HP. When we're not attacking, we'll get the extra energy next turn. But this is obviously scary. This is pretty good. Blur, Defend, Bash, Poison Stab. We got 4 cards for next turn. We have minimum 19 block. I think 31. Don't play anything. We got 2 cards for next turn. We definitely live. We definitely live. 21 damage. That's pretty bad. We're going to die. That hurts. We got really close. I'm not... upset's not the right word. I think we played pretty well, but, you know, the chips didn't fall where they may, but it was an exciting run nonetheless. Let's see where we finished. 181st on a daily is actually, like, a really good score. I mean, there's, like... I won't belabor the point here, but there's probably... Oh, wait. We somehow have looped back around. How many people are on this leaderboard? I want to see at least 300. If we can get down to 300, I won't feel so bad. A lot of people finished in this little corridor right here. Okay, well, I'm not feeling that bad then. Look at this. 181 out of, like, you know, 500 or something. But you probably, like, maybe a few thousand. I don't know if there's, like, a leaderboard website. But anyway, I had a great time checking this out. I hope you've enjoyed the variety as well. If you do, click the like button. Help send a message to me about what the heck I'm going to play in the future. Appreciate it a lot. And thanks so much. Twitch.tv/NorthernLion. I'm live every weekday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!